Good morning. Welcome to this service of Unity of Bernie online. We're so glad you're with us. It is always wonderful to have you join us. Your comments and your things that you leave here, comments and your thoughts mean so much. And we know that we reach far from where we are. We are in the house of love, though. If you're able, I heartily invite you to come. I know you'll be blessed by it. And if this offering is a blessing to you, I invite you to send your gift to Unity of Bernie, P.O. Box 1973, Bernie, Texas 78006. Or you can press the PayPal button at the bottom of your page. This morning we'll be talking about the greatest gift. I look forward to you joining us. Your energy inspires me, as well as the energy that is here and present in this room. So God bless you for being here. God bless you for making a commitment to want to change your life. But we'll be talking about that this morning. We'll be speaking about the greatest gift. So sit back, relax, and we look forward to being with you this hour. God bless you.
I remember your daddy, your granddaddy said, I know how good he treated us. Mother wouldn't treat him like bad. I mean, that's where he was raised. Some of our best friends, Diddy Maddox, from his boarding house in the Texas.
Welcome to Unity of Bernie. We're going to start our service this morning. India, we're going to stand, we're going to sing something.
Morning is broken.
All right.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for the spring, fresh from the word. Sweet the smell fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first trance. Praise for the sweetness of the red garden, sprung in the wilderness, whence he passed. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the glory, born of the moonlight, Prince of May. Praise with the nation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day.
Well done. While you're sitting down, find somebody and say, I am so glad to see you. I am so glad to see you.
Very shy.
Okay, I can get straight here.
I'm shy. Oh, Rick.
You wonderful. Next to each other. Good to see you, Rick.
I do have some announcements for you this morning. I'd like to remind you of all the classes and activities we have going on, most of them via Zoom, but you can find all the information on the order of service. It's also on our Facebook page. Everything always starts at 8 o'clock. I want you to remember our food basket back there. We're doing pretty good with that. We kind of fill it out and we take it several times a year, so we seem to be doing well at that. Annual meeting is 2 weeks from today. I think I have almost everything set for that. We're going to sort of get everything organized, but it looks like that's going to go pretty well.
Is that the first win?
That's the
February?
3rd. I get 18th. It's 2 weeks from today.
Okay,
After potluck.
okay.
Well, at least you won't be hungry and dying to get out of here. So yeah, it gives you a chance to see what's going on in the church, vote for some things, give an idea of where you want the vision to go. And like I say, you can give me a piece of your mind if you'd like, if it's only for another 2 weeks because then I'm off the board. But let's see how it goes. We like new board members and do some financials, and so it doesn't take very long, but it's good. You know, Jay will give a report as well as where he's at and where he thinks the church is going. So attend if you can. I would like to have you consider reading the Daily Word. We've got the senior citizens version up here. It's bigger. You don't need your glasses. Most of us don't need our glasses. But, think about it. If you haven't done it before, it's a good way to share yourself with the congregation. There's a sign-up sheet in the back. I don't know that I have much. Last announcement, the best for last, is Elizabeth Thurman put in her application to be a member.
Welcome,
Anybody know anything I don't? All right, we're going to move on. Miss Linda's going to read the Daily Word.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. As we quietly and gently prepare for the reading of the Daily Word, we remember that we are in spirit with millions of Daily Word readers in churches throughout the world. The Christ candle is lit as a reminder of the Spirit of God, the Spirit of God within all of us, which we call the Christ within. And the word for today is joy. In the affirmation, joy is mine through all the seasons of life. Throughout my life, joy is always part of me. Like the sun that is always shining even when obscured by clouds, joy is there in my happiest moments and also during my darker times. It keeps me present to life as it unfolds, responsive and adaptive, accepting what I cannot change and having the courage to change what I can. Much more than a feeling, joy is part of me, a way to feel the presence of God and live from my spirituality. Joy is the anchor that keeps me rooted in peace and wholeness, and the wings that help me soar through the open skies of imagination and choice. My spiritual identity has its foundation in the divine idea of joy, and I carry it with me wherever I go and in everything I do. The scripture comes from Psalm 16, verse 11. You show me the path of life. In your presence, there is fullness of joy. Again, the affirmation, joy is mine through all the seasons of life. My name is Linda, and I thank you all for joining us in worship today.
We can stand together for a minute for our miracle moment. We can affirm that together.
Christ is the light of my mind, illumined by my thoughts. Christ is the love of my heart, compassion of my words. Christ is the strength is my vision. Christ in me, my all. Christ in all I see.
Let's stay standing for our celebration song.
What wonders from within? That's where to look within. There's no use looking somewhere else for power that you need to win. What wonders from within? Be sure you look within. Just take your mind from outer fears. Don't think it's too late to begin. And you and me, there's power to feed. And you and me, there's power that'll set us free. Of course it's up to me. Of course it's up to me. So I'll set my mind to use my power with wonders I want to see.
We have our opening prayer. Should be up there. Let's say that together.
Unity of the burning is a vibrant, loving, spiritual community, providing a sacred space for personal growth. We honor and celebrate the Christ within all people.
Please, be seated. I know everybody's got a prayer card in the order of service. You can fill those out at any time and place them in either the offertory or Maria. Anybody, if you're ready, whenever you're ready to do that. Sherry looks like she's coming to bring the prayer box forward. We sometimes forget that prayers can be celebrations as well. We sometimes think of them always as something that's lacking or that we're needing. But the prayer team would love to celebrate with you as well. So if you have celebrations, those can go in there too.
Good morning. Unity of Bernie is not only everything we affirm to begin with. It is not only the house that love built. It is the place where concentrated, loving prayers are answered. We have seen this especially over the past year. The united energy of the love in this place blesses me and so many others. Right now, I'd like you to bring to mind those requests that you may not have placed in the box, the desires of your heart that only you may know about, the prayers that are unwritten but still there, the things that stay with you. This is a spirit and a love that covers all needs. I am the Lord your God that supplies all your needs according to my riches and glory. Those are powerful words. We're going to affirm them right now. Infinite presence, we give thanks that you are the spirit in which we live, move, and have our being. We affirm the truth, the guiding principle that the light of our lives, you are always with us. There is nothing to fear. You make the crooked places straight. You walk with us in all we do. Because of that, we are fearless, and we know that what comes out of our heart with intention of love is blessed and multiplied by the wonderful spirit that is you and that is us when we recognize it. And we recognize it fully right now. We understand our divinity. We understand we are co-creators with you. We bless the brokenhearted. We celebrate with those that are joyful, and to all the gradations in between. We know you are the presence of power in which they live, and they move, and they have their being. Your perfect will is being done right now. We affirm it, we know it, and so it is. Amen.
Amen.
And are we not doing the celebrations? Thank you. All right. To go with today's message, I brought a song that I wrote because claiming what makes our hearts sing means claiming who we are.
yes I can. And there is peace anywhere I stand when I claim who I am. Who I am. Whenever two paths diverge for me, I now will create a third one. The journey based on love and not on fear. It starts here. My spirit whispers the love flag you let go. You're bound by nothing. And this answer comes to me, good and true and clear. Fear is not my name, for I am passionate aflame. When I claim who I am, Spirit says yes I can. And there is peace anywhere I stand. When I claim who I am, I am the only one who can define the spark in me that comes from God divine. Spirit won't be tamed. I'm filled with courage, I am sustained. When I claim who I am, Spirit says yes I can. There is peace anywhere I stand. When I claim who I am, who I am.
So today happens to be Celebration Sunday. So anniversaries, birthdays, a healing of some kind. Oh boy. A fine idea. You like the rain. I'll take almost anything. Zach's up. Oh, Rick's up. Linda, you just stretching your leg? All right. Oh, Mark, I got Mark.
It's a celebration.
Mark.
It's a celebration.
Did you
Oh, you're all right.
make it get up? No,
Don't even worry about it.
All right, young man. Your name?
My name is Mark.
What are you celebrating?
I'm celebrating my 74th trip around baseball.
Both of you age pretty well, you know that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're looking pretty good. Your name?
My name is Chris. My birthday comes this month also.
Oh! Care to tell us how many?
78.
Whoa! Awesome.
Yay, baby.
Doing great, doing great. All right, young man.
I can save it
Your name?
Rick,
What are you celebrating?
Rick Taylor, remember to put it on the front. I'm always celebrating, especially on Sunday, they're all your nice people. And it's just such a pleasure to come and not only hear a wonderful sermon every Sunday, but see all nice, friendly people and chit chat a bit. And we both enjoy it very much. Thank you, everyone.
I was just with Rick a long time ago. I said, I've never had a conversation with you that I didn't feel better than when I came to you. So it's always fun to talk. Always. Your name?
Call me old man. It's funny
Oh,
because
no, I can't remember. Your name, old man. Zach.
and
Let's celebrate Zach.
I'm celebrating the fact that yesterday I managed to get my posse of friends together for a very, very excellent get together. We hadn't seen each other for legally a year. In truth, it was just about 4 or 5 months, but circumstances kept having one or more of us have to say, can't make it, I can't host. But yesterday, upon cleaning up my house, I entertained guests for the first time in a long time, and it felt extremely, extremely good.
Awesome.
We also celebrate a milestone of 140 pounds in the weight loss journey. Person is off my back.
You're looking good, Zach. Your name?
Laura.
Laura. What are you celebrating?
I am celebrating that I just started the last class of my master's degree.
Oh.
One class and then an internship and then I'm done. But I'm celebrating the fact that I did this.
How many years?
I've done one class a semester, so it's taken me almost 4.5 years.
Wow. Good for you.
Perseverance.
All right. Is this together or are you guys separate?
No, I'm separate.
Separate. Your
Yeah.
name?
My name is Sherry.
All right, Sherry. What are you celebrating?
And I am very thankful for all of your prayers, first of all. Our son is doing extremely well. He's up and he's moving around a lot more and getting out. And we have a bone biopsy next month, but we're going to see it as being clear. And that's the main thing. But thank you so much for all your prayers.
Awesome. All right, young lady. Your name?
My name is Liz.
What are you celebrating?
Well, adding on to my brother, his foot is completely healed on the outside. So we're extremely happy. No more wrapping it. Anyway, I'm fully celebrating. Kimmy is in karate and she has made her 3 stripes that she will need to get to go to her next belt.
Yay!
Celebrating her even though she's making a lot of progress.
Pop your head up there, Kitty. Your name?
Hi, I'm Nancy Sorensen,
What are you celebrating?
and I'm celebrating maybe 3 things. Today would have been my mom's 94th birthday, so February 4th is always special, and she'd be delighted to know I'm here with you today. Celebrating my great niece's scans were clear this month, and that's excellent. She's 10 years old. And I'm celebrating that I am unpacking and what's it called, nesting or decluttering, whatever. That's nesting sounds better, right? Getting settled into my place and getting things ready to get out back into the universe that I don't need anymore. So
Awesome.
Cleaning the garage kind of thing.
I know. Good for you.
Thank you.
People wave your finger, say we honor your celebrations.
We honor your celebrations.
You know the best is yet to come.
Yeah, we know the best is yet to come. Woohoo.
That's the power
Thank
of
you.
yet.
Thank you.
Take it home, that's all, okay? We're leaving flowers.
This is going home in the box.
I'd like to take a moment before we enter our meditation and give a word of thanks to a man who has made my job much easier and who it has been my pleasure to work with as president of the board of directors at Unity of Vernon. He is Brent Ackles, and I'd love you to give him a hand. And thank you so much, Brent. We were talking just the other day about the craziness of COVID and what we went through, through the time that was. And we knew we'd come through it, and we did. And it was through his good actions and a lot of hard work. And you're appreciated, and thank you for what you did. Right now, I invite you to take up your meditative position, whatever that may be. Place in your mind and your consciousness that you visit, hopefully often, for recreation, for the place that you know is safe. And it is unharmed, it is untouched by anything that you've ever been through, anything that has happened. It is as new and fresh as the morning dew. This is your time. And so as you take a few deep breaths and clear your consciousness and feel the energy that is surely the presence. And so what we're going to do is know that presence of that energy and forgive the pastor for jumping. So please, India, go ahead.
In the midst of his children, none looks better than he would be. It comes and take very many. It can be just two or three, and I feel that same sweet spirit that I've felt of times before. Surely I can say I've been with the Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can hear the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can hear the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
And so, as I was saying, visit that place that you know well. If you don't have that, and some folks said they're not used to going inside really or things like that, and I always say bring a picture of the happiest time you've ever had in your life. Bring that energy back to you and picture, visualize, bring that picture to your mind and visualize that happy time, because Scripture says the Lord inhabits the praise and joy of His people. And so we affirm that right now. We go within. We're aware of a presence of peace and calm. The creative energy that is the energy of life itself courses through our bodies, making all things new. And through this, our decision maker, the one that says, I am in us, we identify with this recreative power. We take healing where we need it. Mind, body, emotions, memories, pain. All these things melt away in the presence where we drop the sense of our personal selves and identify with divine mind. It feels good, it feels warm, it feels safe. Not only is it the power of creation, it is the power of restoration. So anything that has bothered us this week, this month, this year, however long, can be laid gently, can be surrendered and laid gently at the feet of the one who knows only perfection about us. And we're happy. That is so. Because there's no condemnation in that kind of love. It binds us up. It heals us. It sustains us. And more than anything else, it loves us. It is the presence within us that asks us, what will you have? And in this time, we make responsible, loving choices for what we will have and affirm to be true in our lives. We feel relaxed. We feel refreshed. We're ready. All sense of upset, all sense of worry, hurry, confusion now passes away into the nothingness from which it came. Sweet serenity and reception of good is at hand. We declare this to be so. So it is. Amen. About what I call the greatest gift. Many people have differing ideas about what would be the greatest gift, but I'd like for this morning to sort of emphasize what is said in the New Testament about the great gifts of spirit. And now abideth these three things: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. So I would say that that is the greatest gift, to be who we are, to reflect who we are, and to know that and act like it. And what is our job is not to supplicate and oblige God to do something, but to take everything that we have placed in the way of love's presence and deconstruct that so the light can get in. See, we are points of light in creation. You remember as a child, I'm sure, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, and it goes on like that. And we're young, we're innocent, we accept that, we're joy-filled about it, and then we get a few years on ourselves and we become sometimes jaded. And we look back at those halcyon days to say, oh, that was nice, but we're in the real world now. Well, let me tell you, the real world isn't what you see out there. Now, this isn't some hocus pocus that I'm trying to pull on you. I'm talking about the real world, the world of divine mind, the one that I spoke of, living and moving and having our being. Because everything out here, in case you haven't noticed, is temporal. Everything here that you see with your eyes, that you touch, that you feel, everything that is in sense, and your sense perception will one day pass away, including the body that you inhabit. Now, this isn't depressing, because the real truth is the animating spirit that makes us and allows us to do these things in the world is timeless, it is eternal, and it is the very identity of who we are. Think about that. So many different faces out here, many different appearances, sharing one divine mind, one source from one creator. We get into such trouble when we get into duality. When we start saying up, down, side to side, in, out, black, white, those are good for distinctions or as distinctions to go about in our physical world. But when you bring them to spirit, when you say, I am this and that, and you divide yourself or you describe yourself as a pair of opposites, you're actually walking away from the truth of your being. There is one consciousness inhabiting us all. If you're familiar with the I Am discourses, you'll know that it says we are the ones who can throttle God's presence. I like that idea. We step on it, or Eric Butterworth said it's like stepping on a garden hose. We kink it. We can stop that flow. We can frustrate that flow, and we can have all kinds of troubles that emanate from that. A good, clear, receptive consciousness breeds a good and clear, receptive life. That means one free of condemnation of yourself and others. You have to live with you 24/7. And I hope that you've heard in New Thought, and you certainly hope you've heard it from me, that that should be a wonderful time. You should be able to be friends with yourself, approve of yourself, and give yourself the greatest gift of all, self-love, self-approbation. The idea that I may have made mistakes, there may have been things that I would do over again, certainly I have some regrets, all these things, but you, on balance, approve of who you are and love who you are. And if you find that to be an overwhelming proposition at the moment, some people do, I have a suggestion that has worked for me. Well, I have a couple of suggestions, we'll be going into it, that has worked for me and I've seen work for others. If we want to get real physical about what we're dealing with in our brain, how we express, we have, as I said, neural pathways in our brains and receptors and dopamine and all these fancy words that describe the process of the divine activity of thought. So what I'd like for you to be able to do is create a new groove of thought in your mind. Be groovy. Look at it that way. Look at things that make you feel good when you're doing this. This doesn't have to be serious and, quote, religious and all like that. You know, we sometimes get so serious around the idea of God. We feel we must be on bended knee and in bowed head, and certainly there's a place for that. But I also feel that the joy of God, the joy of Christ, is in the laughing and the happiness. We have a picture here of Christ laughing, and I like to think about that. You know, the Course in Miracles said this whole thing began because the Son of God forgot to laugh. And I didn't know what that meant for a long time until I went deeply into it and realized, you know, we're the only ones that walk this earth that know how to laugh. We're also the only beings that walk this earth that blush or have the need to, as Mark Twain said. We welcome spirit. So I would say that since you have a journey with yourself from the day you're born till the day you exit, it should be a pleasant one. And when you give yourself the gift of your own approval, when you love yourself, you are making a life that works. So what do we do about this groovy thing I'm talking about? How do we actually begin to form new patterns of thought? As you know, I'm a great admirer of Dr. Maxwell Maltz's Psycho-Cybernetics. It was written in 1960. He talked about the creative mechanism, the goal-striving mechanism that was within each of us. He was warmly embraced by the science of mind community. He was friends with Raymond Charles Barker and Bales and all those names that, if you're interested in science of mind, they go way back. And they realized that they had a collaborative venture. Maltz was trying to teach people how to get more living out of life and how to remove the scars that people put there themselves. He was a plastic surgeon, and that's what he did for a living. And he became a self-help author when he was around 60 years old, talking about a second career. And what he would find was people would come to him with disfigurements on their faces or something that they wanted to change. He would do the surgery or treat them. And afterwards they would come back and say, well, doctor, I see the difference, but I don't feel the difference. And it was that they had spent so long a time entertaining this idea about themselves, they literally couldn't believe their eyes. And we spend so much time in our religion sometimes frustrating ourselves in what we think is an angry God or all the mistakes we've made, that we can't pick up the joy that is supposed to come to us as we turn to that presence. I am a fan of turning to that presence always. I am not a fan of suffering in the name of God. Suffering in the name of religion is suffering in the name of anything. We build enough personal stories about ourselves that hurt, that we don't need it given to us more on Sundays. You know, some people like to go to church on Sundays just to hear about how bad they've been. They like to hear that God is plenty sore with them, as Archie Bunker would say. God is plenty sore with you. They hear that because they're able to expiate guilt for that moment and then go out and do it again. And I'm not passing judgment on this, but I'm saying it's a curious quirk in human nature how that works. But to return back to the neural pathways in Dr. Maltz, he had a secular idea about doing this. I will say at the back of the book, he did mention New Thought, and he did mention the idea of giving it a 30-day try, of entertaining only the thoughts you wish to see manifest in your life. Give it a try for 30 days. And the results were wonderful in the people who did that, and there were books that he subsequently wrote that spoke to that. But the idea is, you begin to think in a way that is completely different from how you've ever done it before. And I'll give you an exercise. You don't have to do it here. You can if you want to. But when you take your hands and put them together, how do you cross your thumbs? Does one go over the other dominantly? And if you do what you've not done before, does it feel different? When you, like, I take my right one and place it over my left. But when I take my left and place it over my right, it feels different. It's just something that feels like I want to get it back to where it was. And that is what I'm talking. That's the genesis, the starting point of creating new mental habits. Something that's seemingly silly can begin the process of change. When you do something like I'm talking about with the thumbs, and you begin to do that every day just because you want to change that habit, not necessarily because you want to change how you do your thumbs. That's just a symbol of the change I'm talking about. You decide that you want to think and be in a different way. And when you do that, habits of thought persisted in long enough become change. They become the things that we live by. You reap a habit, you sow a destiny. But the habit has to start somewhere. So many of us are so good at picking up bad habits because the ego thrives on comparison and conflict and upset. It's hard sometimes to get the good habits because sometimes we feel we're walking so alone with that. It seems like changing is just us against the world. It's Sisyphus rolling that rock up a hill only to have it come down. But I'm telling you, it's as simple as changing your mind or interlocking your fingers and putting one thumb differently than another. Go through that discomfort. Yes, it is just a little discomfort. It's a mild discomfort. Or when you find yourself thinking a negative thought or something that you don't want to build in your brain, give yourself a little knock for doing that. Sometimes, and what I did, and it was, I admit, wasn't very fun, but I quit thinking in a certain way when I did it. I would hear in my mind nails on a blackboard. Or I would imagine that I had a piece of tin foil in my mouth biting down for the filling. Yeah, I see the wincing on your face. But when I associated that with my negativity at the time, I got over that real quick. And I stopped wanting to feel those feelings that literally came to me. Don't tell me thoughts aren't creative. You right now picture a lemon in your mouth and the pustules breaking and going back in your mouth, and you will salivate. You begin to see, you see what I'm talking about. Thoughts are creative. They are determinative of what we're going to be. You continue to think in a certain way that you want to see manifest. You align yourself with the vibration of what you want to be, do, and have. You entertain a new concept about yourself, and you begin to build new neural pathways in your mind. And before you know it, the person that you were is different than what you are now. It's not that you forget. It's not that you run away from. You understand. And I've told you the greatest gift in the world besides love is to be understood. I've said that, I've heard it said when I was young because it was rather sexist back in those days, but it was told to me, a man is what he understands. A person is what he understands. Think about that. What you understand about yourself and others, what you understand about the motives that drive you, about the ways that you have been, the things you think about at 2 o'clock in the morning. They can either drive you crazy or drive you to a new beginning. So many times it's hard to face ourselves. We don't need guilt put on us from an outside source. We're loaded with it. And we know it. And we try to project it. And we try to off-put it on someone else. That's what the Course in Miracles teaches us. We're all suffering from this projection perception. Over and over again, we're bumping into mirrors of each other. And what we don't like in ourselves, we'll see in other people. And it keeps going on, and we wonder why there's no change, why society can't get better, why we can't be better, because we won't do the work on ourselves. It starts with us. I'm a big proponent of social justice. I want to see the poor housed, the hungry fed, the naked clothed. I love that. I want it. But I know that it's only going to come when the individual understands their power and begins to act in a way that realizes there is no difference between me and my brother. It's a false dichotomy that I've erected. I truly am one with those that I see. And if you feel that way, if you really feel like you're one with another, then you don't want them to suffer any more than you want to suffer. You begin to have a compassion. You have a sensitivity. As you're training your mind and you're filling it with the good, the pure, the powerful, the positive, when you're making these new pathways that I'm talking about, your life begins to change because you see things differently than you had before. You're walking in newness of life. We're not just talking about some words that sound good on a Sunday morning. We're talking about the very energy and dynamic of personal change. I'm talking to you this morning about the deconstruction of suffering, the deconstruction of personal suffering. And we suffer at our hands so much. So, remember, building neural pathways is a process. It doesn't happen all at once. It is, listen to this, it is done through the process of affirmations. Who said that? The secular doctor, Maxwell Maltz. He was talking about repeating things over and over again. He found a secular audience for this book from saying the things that we had said for hundreds of years in New Thought. It's just that people didn't want to hear religion thrown at them anymore. They were open to a secular idea of change because they associated the idea of religion with condemnation and fear and oppression. And those things that only make us more difficult, make our lives more difficult, make it harder for us to walk in life. I think church or a spiritual center should be a place where you get your spiritual batteries renewed. I think it's a place where you come and you hear other people say to you and you say to them, yes, you can. You can make it. You are loved. I am going to uphold you in my prayers. And when you're doing that, you're building pathways right there. You're showing compassion. You are aligning with this positive energy. And before you know it, And it may be a month, it may be a year. I don't know the time process. But Dr. Maltz said this in his wonderful book, and I have to refer to it because it's great. It takes 21 days to make a new habit. He asked us to make this commitment for 21 days that we would give up our personal history and walk into what we're affirming. You write down on paper what's important to you. Write it in your heart, even better still. And you begin to build these new roads of thinking. You walk in newness of life. And those words come off a dry and black and white page, and they burst into living color because, wow, all of a sudden you're getting it, you feel it. There's a lightness in your step. As Dr. Kenneth Wapnick said, and he's such a wonderful teacher, and I suggest that you look him up on YouTube, whatever you can, a great teacher of the Course in Miracles. He said, your forehead becomes less wrinkled. You begin to have a serenity. You smile more often. It's not anything that you have to fake. It's not a jump up and down, rah-rah thing. It's really happening inside because you are taking the time to go into your creative mechanism and say, do the work for me. And God always meets us at our point of need. So when we say we want to create a new pathway of thinking, we say the energy of creation, the words of creation, I am. And I am meets us where we are. So whatever it is that you want to change and build into your consciousness, always start with I am. And then entertain the very best thoughts about yourself that you possibly can. Whatever it is that you feel is holding you back from a life more abundant, bring it to the light. And be sure you let it go. Be sure that you don't run back and pick it up and say, I need that to feel my identity. I feel scared in this new way. No, let it go. It was not there to help you in the first place. It was a decision perhaps you made in a different part of your spiritual evolution. It doesn't serve you now. It's only grist for the mill of the life you're building now. You're on the way to something wonderful. Will you have trouble? Of course. Will there be things that you wish you could do in this new way? Yes. But you'll see them differently. You'll see them as lessons designed for the evolution of your soul. And ultimately, that's what it's about. Because when we drop these bodies, the only thing that we can take with us is the love that we've given and the love we received. And I will tell you, and I heard somebody say that this is the birthday of one of their parents this month. And it reminded me this is the birthday, this month is the birthday of my father. And it will be 4 years ago since I last heard his wonderful counsel and advice. And oh, I wish I could talk to him and have his physical presence there. But you want to know the real truth of it? And I don't mean to be trite, it's just true. I feel the man more when I'm quiet. I feel him more than I did when he was there. It's kind of strange, but it's kind of something that surrounds me. And I hear his laugh. And I see the things that he did. And I hear the words that he spoke to me. And one of the things that he always said to me, and one of the things that I hold dear is, I believe in you and I love you. You can do it. You just have to believe it. Well, I was raised hearing that. And I never knew that I'd be called into a position to tell that to others, but I know I love it too. And I told you I'd never do or tell you anything that I hadn't proved for myself or done in my life. What I'm talking about, building a new mental equivalent, it can happen. It works. It's going to take some work. It's going to take yourself seeing you in a completely different light than you have up till now. In the book of Joel, in the scripture, it says, let the weak say, I am strong. Whatever the place inside you that needs the love, that needs the strength, that needs everything that you can think of, be a small hole you perceive, it may be a huge one, but all it needs is the presence of love. And you build these new neural pathways. You build them by the memories that you've had that were good. Remember only the love, forget everything else. You can only take that with you, ultimately, the love you gave and the love you received. That's the measure of a life well lived. The love you have for yourself is the love you're going to show other people. We build strong people. We build strong communities. We knock people down. We knock our communities down. It begins truly with us. I ask you this morning to remember you're a powerful, wonderful creator. Just begin to think in a new way. Let those thumbs cross. Let that be your beginning. And then maybe you put your shoe on tomorrow in a different way. Maybe you do, instead of 2 socks and 2 shoes, a shoe and a sock, and a shoe and a sock. And whatever it takes to remind you that you can shift from your ordinary ways of thinking. And then watch out. Forget the shoes, forget the thumbs. You're off on a new adventure. You're seeing life in a new way. And after all, isn't that what we celebrate here? God bless each and every one of you. I see you strong, capable, confident, doing everything that you want and being brand new. God bless you. You know, to applaud before a message is an act of faith. To do it during a message is an act of hope. And to do it after the message is an act of charity. Thank you. And now I hope you will be charitable with us as we take our offering today. Unity of Bernie, believe in the divine law of giving and receiving. We've seen it happen as we give, we receive. Pressed down, shaken together and running over. The blessings come back. It comes with an attitude with which you give. I ask you to give the best gift of which you're able. And those of you who are tuning in online, you have the PayPal button. You can press at the bottom of your page. Also, you can send your gifts to Unity of Bernie, P.O. Box 1973, Bernie, Texas 78006. Thank you, Zach, and we'll be praying for your increase as well. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Freely, freely I have received, freely, freely I give. To follow through blessed is all that I am, all that I give and receive, all that I give and receive.
Together, we repeat our prayer for increase. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I send it forth with my blessings and my love. So it is.
Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge
And I'll wish you 74.
It's like I had this person.
And that's how it rolls at Unity of Ernie. I want to thank you very, very much for joining us today. We are just a happy and loving bunch of people, and we want to share that all the time. We enjoy ourselves more when we are enjoying others who are coming in and being at least temporary members of the family. We like to think that you're more than just temporary members. People come back after moving away, and they've got to just, what they do when it comes to Sunday morning, they've got to get out and see the Sunday experience. And be part of that experience. That's what experience is all about. So why not join us? Next Sunday, same place, same time. Or if you like and you're looking for something just a little bit more intensely satisfying, stop by and be part of us. If you can't make it next week, the invitation is open. So the following week, we're going to have a potluck dinner, and you're welcome to stop by for that as well. And all of our first-time guests go to the head of the line at potluck. Added bonus for you there. Enjoy yourselves. Have a most fulfilling week. And remember to keep God in your heart. Right there where the Christ Spirit lives. It's yours too, and we're glad to be in the same group as you. Have a wonderful day. See you next Sunday experience.